what's up, guys? It is Tamika Moultire, Red Infamy, and I'm here at the E3 EA conference. And I'm here with Brian. He's the creative director of UFC. He's going to tell us more about the game, what was shown today at the conference, and what we should look forward to with UFC.
Yeah, well, today we showed a little glimpse of Bruce Lee fighting BJ Penn. It was the 5th round of a battle that we captured just like the other night. The game is totally done. It hits the shelves June 17th, so we can't wait for everybody out there to get their hands on it next week. Play the game, feel the fight. Should be a blast.
Now, when people seen Bruce Lee, everybody was ecstatic because that's everyone's like favorite fighter ever. Everyone is inspired. We've seen some of the UFC fighters saying they was inspired by Bruce Lee. What inspired y'all to put him in the game? Was it because of the UFC fighters that showed their inspiration from him?
I mean, I think that there's that element. There's the element that everybody working on the game, as much as we're fighting fans, UFC fans, we're all Bruce Lee fans. And, you know, it's kind of a standard practice that, you know, there's pre-order exclusives. And we didn't want to make it like, we didn't want to like hold back UFC fighters. We're like, well, what's something special that, you know, people will really feel that, you know, it's something awesome that they're getting if they pre-order the game. And there's really, once we asked that question, there was no clearer answer than, well, it's Bruce Lee, right? That's the only answer to that question. And then thankfully, Bruce Lee Enterprises, Shannon Lee, they were totally cool with the idea. We went down there, pitched them on it. They were psyched. They helped us create a really awesome likeness of him in the game, and then here we are today. So, exciting stuff.
Now, in the UFC, when you daze a fighter, will we see Bruce Lee's 1-inch punch in the game?
Not his 1-inch punch, because that was kind of a demonstration technique where he sort of stood in front of somebody and went like that and then hit him. So, it doesn't really transfer over really well into a real fight, but he's got like his trademark sort of back fist jab. He's got a nice oblique kick, and then his actually what he KO'd BJ Penn with, that side kick to the face, is pretty much trademark Bruce Lee stuff.
Okay, so we know Bruce Lee is like extremely fast. He wasn't human at all to me. So in the game, he seems not as fast as we're used to. Did y'all do that on purpose so he won't be overpowered, so he can kind of blend in with the rest of the fighters that we normally see in the UFC?
Well, we have to consider that. I mean, obviously, Bruce Lee never actually competed as a professional fighter. So a lot of people's reference for him is from, cinema, movies where you can really accentuate the speed at the expense of necessarily, say, being effective in a real fighting context. And also, yeah, for this game, we got to make sure that we can't just throw Bruce Lee in there and have him just destroying everybody. Otherwise, that's the only character anybody would play with, and then why did we bother making 98 other fighters? The other thing that takes into account is he appears in 4 different weight divisions. So that division that he was in was actually the 2nd highest weight division he's in, so his speed is actually a little bit lower there than it is at his very smallest division, where he is lightning fast.
Okay, so it makes sense to have him in a different one.
We balance him out based on how big he is theoretically in the octagon.
Okay, so we know Bruce Lee is the pre-order goodie. So what other things in UFC that we should see in this installment from the previous ones, or what have y'all, I guess, took from the community and put in this game?
Well, I mean, first off, the game, and as you saw today, it looks amazing. In terms of visuals, the characters are just rendered in amazing detail, really brought to life in ways that we can only do on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And there's a lot of gameplay, physics technology that we're utilizing that's never been there before, a new locomotion system, a new physics system that allows for a lot of really organic things to happen. When
Ignite is in this, right?
Yeah, it's the Ignite engine. So there's a lot of new stuff on the gameplay side. It looks great, like I said. It's the first UFC game that's featured the Ultimate Fighter as part of the career mode experience. And then we're also committed to delivering roster updates for this game post-launch, and that will include new fighters and new active UFC fighters. Those will be free. So. Okay,
cool. So y'all have Bruce Lee, but there's also other martial artists that have competed. Like Jet Li and Donnie Yen. So would y'all think about adding those? Greatest martial artists in the game, I guess, since y'all started with Bruce Lee, would this be a trend for UFC?
I don't know that it'll be a trend. We can wait and see what the response is and what fans are clamoring for. I think our focus initially will certainly be to expand the roster of active UFC fighters. I'm looking at you, TJ Dillashaw. So, that'll probably be our focus, right out the bat. It's a possibility, but right now we don't have any plans to go for any other, martial arts superstars beyond Bruce Lee.
Okay, so UFC comes out soon, right? It's June 17th.
June 17th, next week.
All right, so all you guys, check out UFC, check out pre-order. Make your pre-order so you can get Bruce Lee. Thanks so much, Brian. And for more coverage on E3 2014, be sure to check out GamerFitnation.com. This is Tamika Moultrie, Red Infamy, with Brian, the creative director of UFC.